Hello! Welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, I welcome you. I am Virginie, an interior designer, and I deal with houses that represent 100% who has to live them, from consulting to the entire renovation process. I also help foreigners who want to buy and renovate in Italy to support them all the process long, otherwise difficult to follow from a distance. In this channel, I will talk about home and renovation, trying to give you helpful tips so that you can have your dream house, a house that represents you in depth and where you will always feel at your ease. Are you looking for the right home for you? Be careful, because it could become a true nightmare if you don't follow the 3 tips that I would like to give you in this video. Before we get started, if you love everything related to the home and renovation topic, remember to subscribe to my channel for more information on this subject. Don't forget to click the like button, because it is the very best way to support this channel and my content. I'll truly appreciate it. Have you ever wondered what a house and a person have in common? Well, finding the right one for both is not easy at all. However, for the home, as for people, there is a certain feeling that makes you undoubtedly understand when we made the right choice. In this video, I will tell you how to search and find that feeling and avoid turning the search of your home into a true nightmare. Of course, I'm referring to the case where you need to buy it and not simply to live in a rented house. Because as you might imagine, it's when you decide to buy a home that the choice indeed becomes thoughtful. If it's simply a rental, you will subconsciously think that it's a temporary solution and you will be happy with it. That being said, where should you start to find the ideal home? First of all, you have to decide where to look. It may seem trivial, but the first thing to do is to have a clear idea of where to look for a house. So, downtown or suburbs? The choice will of course depend on the daily demands of work and family. Both options have their disadvantages and advantages. Just think about the convenience of having everything you need under the house if you live down. On the other hand, thought you'll have to deal with parking, a distant supermarket, and areas of foot traffic, and so on. Orienting the choice according to your daily rhythms is fundamental. Don't underestimate this aspect, otherwise you will find yourself living your life uncomfortably. If, on the other hand, you take the time to reflect and understand which areas will best meet your needs, you will be able to experience even the most stressful moments in a more relaxed way. Then you will choose the type of building. The first choice that must necessarily be made is between an apartment in condominium and an independent house. If you, like many, dream of an independent home, let me ask you, do you have any idea how much work you need to do to keep it always pleasant? I'll give you a simple example: mow the lawn. Quite a burden, right? The comfort of an apartment is difficult to reach from an independent house. However, even in this case, don't let yourself be attracted too easily. Living in an apartment involves several limitations to your personal sphere. Are you really sure that you can accept the condominium rules? How will relations with neighbors be? There is no correct answer. You have to stop for a second and imagine yourself in which of the 2 situations you will be better off for your lifestyle. Another aspect of the type of building to consider is whether to settle in a period building. It has to be said that it always has a particular charm with its large environments and full of spectacular sceneries and types. However, modern buildings are built with state-of-the-art facilities, especially when it comes to energy conservation. To find a compromise, you could look for a fully renovated period building, so as not to give up its charms and at the same time not to deprive yourself of an added value given by the new technologies. Lastly, play with the floor plans. The next step in choosing the type of a house is to play with the floor plans. Let me explain better. Once you see the house that you think is interesting and may fit you, I recommend asking for a floor plan right away. True, the most floor plans are the cadastral ones with all the limitations that come with them. The important thing though is that you have a scale floor plan in hand and have been able to tour the house. At this point, armed with a pencil and ruler, start drawing on the map the furniture you already have or those you intend to buy. Position, move them, reposition them. As I said, play. Be careful though, make sure that the furniture you draw is also to scale, otherwise you could be in for a nasty surprise when it's time to get serious. And why don't you try to make multiple copies of the same floor plans? In this way you will have more options to choose from. Have you ever thought otherwise about a house to renovate? In this case, the maneuvering range will be higher in terms of furniture because, unless you run into load-bearing walls, you can make some changes into the interiors. Even in this situation, don't be overwhelmed by easy enthusiasms. There is no right choice regardless, but only decisions functional to your life. If you choose a house to renovate, in fact, in the face of a higher range for maneuver, you will have to deal with so much time and energy to spend. You will need to rely on a surveyor or an architect and a construction company that can complete the works effectively and on time. Again, my advice is to play with the floor plans. In fact, the measurements on paper do not lie. While looking at the environment in person, you often get caught up in the enthusiasm and then find yourself in unexploited spaces. Well, summarizing, you'll have to choose the area where you would like to live, the type of building, how to furnish through the use of floor plans. And always remember, the perfect house doesn't exist. Of course, you can always build it from the ground up. However, most of the time you have to compromise. And finding the right compromise is absolutely not easy. The risking of throwing away time and money is just around the corner. Therefore, you may want to turn to a professional to help you find the ideal choice for you and your family, without running into mistakes dictated by inexperiences that will cost you very much indeed. Because looking for a house should never be a nightmare, but only the beginning of a dream. I hope you found this video helpful. As always, let me know in the comment. Your opinion is significant for me. If you would like to share this with someone you think would be interested, I would be honored and it will help me grow my channel. If you loved the video, let me know with a thumbs up, and if you already haven't done it, remember to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss the upcoming videos. See you soon. Bye!